Welcome to Where There's a Wills, There's a Play. My name's Ian, and I'm here today with my BGA Board Game Arena month in review. Not sure what quite happened earlier. I tried to start it up, and it kind of went to sleep on me. It stopped right away. So we are here. Let's get to Board Game Arena and see what I played in the month of January 2025. So, for those of you that don't know, this is Board Game Arena. This is a place where you can go and play games that you know, learn games that you don't know, have a lot of fun. I have a couple of monthly game nights that I participate in as well, where we play live, but usually I play turn based, and a lot of games on here work really well turn based. You just take your turn when you want to, and then, or when it's your turn, and then everybody else takes their turn. So I'm just gonna go through my list here, kind of from the least played to the most played. Sorry, I'm trying to find my cursor. I got like multiple things going on here. All right, so let's start with this. So we're gonna look up the first game I played. I'm just gonna tell you right now. So Flowers is a tile laying game. I'm not even gonna. Well, we can jump into it, but I'll be honest. I played this simply to. So you can see there's some numbers and some cards. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what I was doing this one. I really just played this one so I could vote in the BGA awards. Um, it did seem like a cute game. You are connecting numbers and colors in different ways to score. This is so they're trying to get, if I remember correctly from reading the directions really quickly, like three threes, four fours next to each other, two twos, but then colors next to each other also score. Don't know too much about this one. I looked into it very briefly. Like I said, I played it quick just to vote in the monthly awards. Um, but it was an interesting one. I would probably play it again and learn a little bit more about it. So I played that one once. The next game that I played once was on a game night, and this is Super Mega Lucky Box. We played this real quick before we played something a little bit bigger. So let me jump into a game here. Um, let's jump into this one. So in Super Mega Lucky Box, you have these boxes, and you have 9 cards per round in a deck of cards. You have these boxes where you're trying to cross off numbers. You can earn lightning bolts, which that is a lot of lightning bolts they are holding on to in this last round. Lightning bolts allow you to increase or decrease a number by 1. That seems like an awful lot to have in the final round when the number of or when the boxes are worth the least. But we'll see how they do. Um, each round you have 3 boxes. Well, you start with 3 boxes in the first round. Depending on which round you clear the boxes off in, you get points for that. And then if you can get stars, you get points. Whoever has the most moons gets 6 points. Whoever has the least moons loses 6 points. And you get points at the end for every 2 numbers you have crossed off that are not that on an incomplete box. So that is Super Mega Lucky Box. Sorry, I'm trying to move my monitor here just in case anybody comes on. All right, let's move on to our next game. Sorry, I got multiple things going on here. Where is my cursor now? Now I can't find. Okay, it's over there. There it is. Sorry, I'm going between my monitor and my computer screen. The next game I played was Castle Combo. Let's get into one here. Um, so in Castle Combo, it is a 9-turn game. You are choosing between 2 different rows of cards, and each one has some scoring criteria. So you look at this card; it costs you 2 gold. It gives you a yellow and a green shield. Its ability is you get 1 coin for every one of the cards you get from the bottom row. You can see that. You can see this. Let's see if I can scroll over. Nope. So these ones have a brown banner. These ones have a silver banner. These are like the royalty and the noble and the regular people. I don't remember what they're called. Um, and there's different scoring criteria for them, and there's scoring in game, or there's stuff in game. There's stuff at the end of the game. So you're trying to make the best 3x3 grid to score the most points in this game. It's a lot of fun. It's a really quick game. So this one's a good one. I've played quite a bit. I played it once in the month, but I'm sure I will get it played quite a bit more. The Crew. Which one did we play? We played the Quest for Planet 9. This is a cooperative trick-taking game where you are. Let's see. Let's get into a game here. Um, where you're doing a certain number of missions. This one seems to be doing the full campaign. These guys are playing with 3 people. So you're trying to do. It's cooperative trick-taking. So in this round right now, this person in the bottom left has to get the pink 3 card in a trick. Let's see if we can get one that's got a little bit more going on right now. Okay, it's just going to go between these 2 screens. Okay, so let's go back in and see. I had never played this one. I had heard about it. I had wanted to play it. We played, I think, 5 missions. Did pretty good here. This one's got 4 more people playing. So you can see in this mission, this person in bottom left has to get the green 1 in a trick, and the person in the upper left needs to get the blue 2 in a trick. So you want to try and figure out like a certain order that you need to play your stuff without communicating. And then it looks like they've got an extra thing here. It says no trick with a 9. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what that is. Each mission has a different little description there. So you can see these guys played this. It is still Lady Cats, and they got the 1 in their trick. So they won the trick because they played the right cards, and they were able to win that trick and get the 1. So that is the Crew, the Quest for Planet 9. The next game that I played once, as I'm bringing this up, my stats were I played 24 games, 57 total times with 25 different players. Let's see, Far Away. I only played this one once, but I love Far Away. Far Away was, I believe, my #1 BGA only game last year on my ranking at the end of the year. So in Far Away, you are each person has a hand of 3 cards that they are playing into their starting hand. You are trying to score points. Now, the way you score is you're going to end up with a 2-row grid with 4 cards in each row. You place these down to try and score these. In order for this person here to score, though, they're going to need 3 of these red kind of devil symbols in the upper right-hand corner somewhere of cards after it. You're going to play 8 cards out, then they're all going to flip over. And what you're going to do is you're going to have 2 rows of 4. Then you start in the bottom right, the last card in the second row. You flip that one over first, and then you go backwards. So you play them left to right, you score them right to left. In order to score them, you have to have the right things before this card comes up. Now, there are ways to get extra sanctuaries. These little symbols here will give you a sanctuary. If you play a card that is higher value, higher number than the one you played before, you will get a sanctuary. So you can only get 1 sanctuary per round, but if you can do some things, you might be able to get a chance at getting more than 1 per round, and those will give you some extra things on top that will allow you to score. It's a really fun puzzle. It's one that works with my brain most of the time. Like I said, you play the things left to right, but then you flip them all upside down and you score them right to left. So it is a lot of fun to do. That is Far Away. The next one I played, which I forgot I even played this month, must have been early in January. I guess we are like midway through February. So it is River Valley Glassworks. River Valley Glassworks is one I learned last summer and then immediately backed it on Kickstarter. In River Valley Glassworks, you are taking these glass tokens from the river and you are placing them um, in your in your grid here. So what you do is you place one of your pieces that you have in your hand and you place it based on the shape. So you see this person has 2 of the exact same shape. So they have to place it here. Then what they will do is they will take either this tile or this tile and they'll place those glass pieces in their collection. When you have less than 4, at some point you are going to collect more from the river. When you take the tiles off, when you take the glass pieces off one of these tiles, one of these river tiles, you move it to the end. So the shapes that are next to each other constantly change. You are placing based on you're placing on the river based on the shape, but then you're placing down here based in the color. In a 4-player and under game, there are 9 colors, but there's only 8 columns. You score for every row from the left to right. You score as far as you filled in. So, like, if you can fill all the way in, you get 22 points. And then you also score for your highest 2 um, columns. Now, if you have 3 columns that are the same, or if you have 2 columns that are the same and one that's higher, you score for the lowest one. So you don't want these ones down here. These ones are worth less points because it's easier to get those. If you can get something over here really high, that's a lot of points. So if you have multiple things that are the same height, you definitely don't want them to be really low because you're going to score on this, on the lower one. And then for every overflow piece that you can't place, you have negative 3 points. Negative 3 points. So really fun game, nice little puzzle. I really enjoy this one. That is River Valley Glassworks. Moving on to another one I must have played early in the month is Harmonies, another one of the big games from last year. In Harmonies, you are, let's find a game here that's got some stuff. All right, here we go. This one's got some decent way into it. So in Harmonies, you are taking tokens from over here. That's interesting. There's only 1 token on here. I wonder why. There should be 3 tokens on all these. So you're going to take a set of tokens. Oh, they were still playing their turn. Okay, I got it. So you're going to take a set of tokens and you're going to place them in your grid here. You are trying to get these different configurations of tokens of water, wetland, or water, mountains. The red ones are like buildings. The yellow ones are fields. Um, and you score different ways. So you score every time you get this. So every time this person gets a blue next to the green. So they've kind of got this green down here, and they're going to probably try and put blues around it. They can put one of these marker pieces on it, and they score. You score for the highest you get. So you don't score each one of those. You score for the highest one you get. Then you also score based on the pieces you have. So the rivers, I know, score based on the longest river on this side. Mountains score, but only if they are next to other mountains. So, like, you can't have mountains just by themselves. It won't score. Trees, the green ones, trees for a height of trees. So if you have like 2 of the brown ones underneath, it's going to score more because it's a taller tree. Then you also so you're looking to make these patterns. You're looking to score off of your habitats. It's a lot of fun. It's another little kind of, it says tile laying. I think these are more like tokens than tiles personally. But if you've played Cascadia, it's got a lot of feel of Cascadia, but not really the same game. So it's different enough where you can have both in your collection. The next one I played um, is Barren Park. I'm gonna be honest. This is another one that I played and I joined the game. Oh, that one is not. Let me get to a different one because that one does not have any progression. This is another one that I played with some friends that I play regularly with. You're placing all these different polyomino pieces over into your board. Um, it was really busy last month and really crazy for me. So I was really just clicking and placing things. I didn't really know what I was doing. It is one I would like to play again and read the rule book. I just didn't have time. It is one I did enjoy. I don't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was scoring. I didn't know how to get more things. So it is one I do want to play again because I love polyomino games and I love puzzle games, puzzly games like this. But I didn't have time with the crazy schedule I had and stuff and just things going on to actually like look into the rulebook or watch a video to see how to play. So I do want to play this one again. That is Barren Park. Then I played a couple Ticket to Rides. So let's get in here to Ticket to Ride. And let's see. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find both things. Oh, wait. Oh, look, it does tell me. So USA. So I played the regular Ticket to Ride once with some friends. We, you lay your cards down, you lay your trains down. Um, Here we go. But this is the one I want to talk about because I did play Ticket to Ride and Ticket to Ride Switzerland. So both are basically the same game, although in Ticket to Ride Switzerland, you have some different things. You can draw 2 wild cards in Ticket to Ride Switzerland, but you can only use the wild cards on these special marked spaces here that have that outline around because those are tunnels. You can only use those on tunnels. When you go to claim a tunnel, if you've never played a Ticket to Ride that has tunnels, you have to back that card up. So this tunnel of 2 blue. This tunnel of 2 blue might be 2 blue, but it might be 5 blue. What I mean by that is when you claim a tunnel, you have to draw the top 3 cards off of the deck. If any of them match the color you are using to claim a route, you have to play extra cards. So if I play 2 blues here and I draw 2 blues out of the 3, I better either have an extra wild or an extra blue or 2 in my hand to be able to back it up because I need to back it up for every card that's drawn. So like I said, this 2 blue tunnel could be 2, it could be 5 if I draw wilds or blue cards on that one. If you claim this with only wilds, then only wilds count. Um, the other unique thing about Switzerland is there are routes that take you that have multiple locations. So it might say Italia to Deutschland, France, and Österreich. And it'll have a different point value. Obviously, Italia to Österreich is going to be less. Deutschland's going to be a little more. But if you can get all the way to France, it's a lot more. It will score whichever one you score the highest on. There's also ones that go from a city to one of those that will go from a city to multiple countries. So there's a couple different versions of Ticket to Ride that do have this in it. I think it's a unique, very cool little thing because you can be going multiple places. You can make sure you score it, but then you can try and get a higher score by going somewhere else. So that is Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride Switzerland. You can find it as one of the maps in Ticket to Ride. I I also played the regular Ticket to Ride, which you're just claiming routes to try and connect destination cards, and there's no tunnels or anything, and you can only take one wild at a time unless you get one face down. That is Ticket to Ride and Ticket to Ride Switzerland, and then Stone Spine Architects. We played this once last month. I actually have a game going of this right now. Let's look at a game in progress. Let's go. That one's. We'll just go into this one. So in Stone Spine Architects, you are drafting dungeon rooms in the game, and you are trying to connect from the entrance as many spaces to the exit as many spaces. If you can get the exit and entrance connected and a lot of these rooms connected, it'll score a lot of points for you. So you can see here along the bottom, this is so you get points based on the number of connections. You also get points based on how many of these criteria you fit into your room, the room type or what things you need in the room. The more of them you can get, the more points. So each round, you are going to take a card and put it into your dungeon. Then you are going to pass it to the next person, and they'll pass to you, or and someone else will pass to you, depending on how many players there are. And what you're trying to do is you can see this money on the bottom of these cards. That is how much money you have to spend on these at the end of the round. Whoever has the most money gets to go first. You want to try and get a lot of money because you won't be able to get more than one of these cards here to place more things in here. Whenever you want to pass, in this part of the round, you will take one of the reward cards, which are award challenge cards, which give you points at the end of the game. Also, at the game's end, whoever has priority gets points, and then whoever has the most of whatever this gold card is. So here it is, the most nulls. Will get 15 points. Second most is 9 points. I really like this game. I backed this one on Kickstarter as well. And then I've played it solo only on the tabletop. I like playing it solo. I love playing it on BGA against multiple people. So that is Stone Spine Architects, a nice little dungeon building game, trying to figure out which dungeon pieces you want to try and connect your dungeon. See, this person's doing a really good job. Let's see. Oh, I can click on it. So you can see they've got everything connected. This person over here, they've got a bunch of dungeons. They need to get something here so that they can have a they're hoping that next round a tunnel comes up because that will allow them to connect this. Otherwise, this start is not going to be connected very much, and the end is not going to be connected to very much. That is Stone Spine Architects. The next one I played um, is one that is quite a bit out of my comfort level as far as weight complexity goes. This is Federation. We played this one on game night, and even though this is out of my comfort level, I really enjoyed this one. The problem was, as soon as we played this after Super Mega Lucky Box, as soon as we started this up, I had a long week. We play on Wednesdays every other week. Um, and like my brain just completely shut off. And I kind of understood what we were doing. I think I did okay in it. I didn't do great. Um, so you're bidding on, from what I understand, you're bidding on the two sides of the board here with two different types of bidding things. And I don't think I can see those. So you can see they bid with this gold side up. I think one side is money, and I don't remember what the other side is. But as you do things, you are doing things in these different planets, and you're scoring different points, or you're getting different abilities or different helpers. Like I said, we played this on a game night at the beginning of the month. I did enjoy playing it, and I would like to play it when I'm more fresh and can understand the game a little bit more. But like as soon as the directions started being told and people were talking about how to play this, I really just kind of hit a wall and my brain just turned to mush. So even though this is quite a bit out of my normal comfort zone, I think it's a game I would enjoy playing. I just need to play it when I'm more awake and maybe one-on-one just to get better instructions on what I'm doing because I did kind of understand it, but like I said, I my brain was kind of off. And then moving on to Captain Flip. Captain Flip, I played 2 times in January. In Captain Flip, you are kind of got a little push your luck game going here where you are trying to place different uh, people into your ship. Each one scores a little differently. When you take a tile out, it comes face up. The push your luck is you can flip it over and play the other side, but you have to play the other side. Um, once you flip it over. So most of these are really good scoring, but there is one, and nobody has it, but the gunner here, you get 5 coins, which is huge. But if you have 3 or more, you automatically lose. So that's where the push your luck comes in, because if you flip it, you get a gunner. All of a sudden, you got gunners. So I can't believe it. Oh, wait, they've got one gunner over here on this side. So like getting a second gunner is okay, but as soon as you get that second gunner, you almost don't want to flip any more tiles over it. And if you don't get tiles that are good for you, it's kind of a okay, push your luck or not sort of thing. So that is Captain Flip. This is a really fun one. The game ends when one person completes 4 columns, I believe it is. So that's one I've played quite a bit. Played it twice last month. Next game is Fromage. Fromage is a game that I actually learned on BGA last summer. Well, I don't want to say I learned it on BGA. I played it on BGA last summer, but I had no idea what I was doing. And then I had backed it on Kickstarter, and it was on its way. And then I finally got to the table. I'm like, oh, I now understand what's going on. So in Fromage, you have 4 different mini games going on. In the fromagerie, you want to have cheese made in as many different shelves as possible. And in the villas, you want to try and get these visitors, I believe is what they're called. You can see there's two white ones, there's two kind of tan ones, there's two dark brown ones. The way you do that is by having area majority. So by getting these corner ones, it really helps because you're in 3 different areas, and then you want to try and just have the majority of a single area. Uh, and then over here in the festival, you want to get connected, orthogonally connected pieces, and these multicolored balloons count as well. And over in the bistro, what you want to do is you want to try and get an entire table. So you can see the blue player here has an entire table, which means they are in this scoring range now. So each plate they have that is those colors will score that many points. If they can get another table, it will make the scoring even more. The unique thing about this worker placement game is when you place a worker, you don't get it back right away. So you can see the red player has 3 workers out here. They've got their blue cheese, their hard cheese, and their soft cheese out here. This one, they will get back in 2 turns. This one they'll get back in 3 turns. This one they'll get back in 3 turns. So the board rotates a quarter turn every time. So they will get it back only when it is facing them. So you can see the red player right now is on top. So they're not going to get any workers back until the fromagerie goes around to the top, and they'll get this worker back. These 2 workers will not come back until the so these 2 actually are going to come back when the villas. Which way does it rotate? Wait. Now I can't remember which way it rotates. I think it rotates clockwise. So they won't get because there's still a 3 on there. So they won't get that back for 1, 2, 3 until this is facing it. So they are out of workers now for a little while. You also have this board over here, and you can get buildings. So you have resources here that you can get. Berries to make fruited cheeses and jams, cards, cows to use in your milking area, and then buildings to build these different buildings that can give you some extra points. The cows and sheep and the animals you can use here, so you can make other cheeses. Hey Jeff, thanks for joining in. We're getting to my top 10 most played games right now, so we got a little ways to go. So I really like Fromage. It is a really fun worker placement game with that unique, like, when do you place them, where do you place them, what things do I need. You score this part of the building scores. You score based on order cards you get. You score each one of these areas scores for you based on their own thing, and then you score for your fruited things. So however many fruited cheeses times the number of jams, you get that many points. That is Fromage. My next game that I played, I did not realize I played this twice. Pixies. This is another one I learned last year. And then I don't know if I really knew what I was doing when we played it. I kind of did, and I hadn't played it since. And it was a lot of fun when we played it recently. So it looks like it might be real time. So in Pixies, you play over 3 rounds. You are trying to do a couple of things. You're trying to connect the most colors possible in a row, but you're also trying to get these little symbols up here because those give you some points. And then you don't want these X's because these take points away. So you're going to be filling up this grid, possibly. You may not fill it up because you'll notice some of these are face down. So you can take a card and you have to play it in that numbered spot. If you don't want to play it, you can place it face down under any card. At the end, you are trying to basically get the most colors in a row or next to each other somehow because that will score a lot of points for you. And I think it's multiplied by the number of these you have on you. Let's see if there's a guide here that I can look at. So the largest color zone made up of at least 2 cards touching along the side. 2 points in round 1, 3 points in round 2, 4 points in round 3. All face-up cards are taken into account. Multicolored cards of the same color. You also get Spirit earns 1 point. A cross player loses 1 point. So you want to get as many of the same color next to each other, and you also want to get as many of those spirals as possible. Really fun, really quick game. Played a couple of games of this in January. That might be one that's on a regular rotation because that is a pretty fun one. The next one we played is Diced Veggies, which is in beta currently, so it might be a little buggy. So let's get in. This is a game that we own, that I own personally. Let's see here. So in Diced Veggies, you are chopping from a block of vegetables. Each one of these dice represent a vegetable: peppers, onions, mushrooms, carrots, and tomatoes. You can see here, this person is trying to make these recipes. So you want that uh, combination of dice. Each round, when you cut your dice, you can cut dice only up to a total pip value of 10. And you can, at the end of the round, at the end of your turn, you can only have 2 face up recipe cards and 2 hype cards, which we can't see. These are hype cards. What they do is they give you some extra little incentives, little bonuses. It may say all of your dice need to be odd, or you need at least 2 5-star dice, or 2 5 dice because it's like the 5-star recipe, or the total of your dice must equal a certain number, something like that. And what it does is it gives you extra points for this recipe. um, at any time you can draw more recipe or more hype cards, and you just discard them at the end of your turn. You cut, then you cook if you can, then you card, so you can take a new card. At the end of your turn, you can only have 8 unspent dice, 2 face up unmade recipes, and 2 face down hype cards. You can always replace them if you have a hype card or something, or a recipe that you just aren't getting. You can replace it with something else. The game ends when one person makes 6 recipes. This chef token also gives you a little bit of variability, because one time you can use it to either change a recipe, or not change a recipe, change a dice into a different ingredient, or change the number of the dice. Once you use it, it flips over. You do get it back once the block is re-rolled. So as soon as any one ingredient is completely gone from the block and nobody can get it, somebody can choose to re-roll the block. So they re-roll everything in the block, plus they re-roll everything that was already used to make recipes, and then they make a new block. So the game ends when someone makes 6 recipes. Then everybody gets the same number of turns, so everybody can make a recipe. Then everybody gets one more turn only to make a recipe. So you have your full turn, you're done. Then you can make another recipe. So, which is a little confusing when you first play this. But basically, if you have extra dice on your turn, and you can take a card on that last full turn, that means you can use that dice just to make one more recipe. You score based on your points on the recipe as well as your hype cards. I would really like to play Federation again at some point when I am more awake, Jeff. That day we played it, like literally 2 minutes into getting directions, my brain just hit a wall and I had no idea what I was doing. But I do think, even though it is quite a bit above my comfort zone for complexity, I do think it is a game I would actually enjoy. So I would love to do that sometime during the day, sometime where we can just get on and play, because I did enjoy it. The next game is Guild of Merchant Explorers. This is one I own. It's actually right over there, my shoulder over there. And then this is in beta as well on Board Game Arena. I really like this game. Funny thing is, I had just played it like at the end of 2024 to play it again, because I hadn't played it for a while. And I remembered how much I really liked it. And then it came on Board Game Arena, which means my physical copy may get sold at some point, because if I can play it on Board Game Arena, I don't know if I need the physical copy just for solo play. And I'm trying to kind of call my list here. So basically, in Guild of Merchant Explorers, you play over 4 rounds. Um, in the first round, you will get an era card, and you have these different explore cards. So what you do is, these are all the first era card, and all the explore cards are over here in this pile. And then you will flip one over at a time, and you can explore. At the start of the game, you can only explore from right here. This is your starting spot. And then you go based on whatever these are. If they are connected like this on the C, they have to be in a straight line. If they're connected like this and they're overlapping like the grasslands one, those ones don't have to be a straight line. They don't even have to be next to each other. They can be anywhere as long as they're connected to something. When you cover up an entire region of the same thing, you get to place one of these little towns, which means you can start a future exploration from there. So they were able to build from there. Or over here, they built one and they were able to build from over here. When you connect two of these next to each other or to each other, you multiply those together and you place a little token in there. Depending on what era, you play 4 eras. So when this card comes up, you will get a choice of 2 extra little investigation cards that you will use, which will help you out a lot. Every era plays the same. So the second era, this card comes in and you play through all these, which means you'll get to use this another time, and you get a second special investigate card. Era 3, same thing. And then you have these extra scoring criteria of it. Like this one says place 2 discovery towers. These are the discovery towers. You see this person has 1 in the bottom. Um, the way you place a discovery tower is you just place a token on it at some point, and then you can place a discovery tower. So the little towns here and the discovery towers score differently based on when you get them. So you want to kind of build out to them, because in round 1 or era 1, a town only scores 1 coin. A discovery tower scores 6. In round 4, this scores 4 and this scores 14. So this is a game I really, really like. I like playing this solo. It's a nice, comforting, nice, quick, comfort solo game. I can see myself playing a lot of this on BGA now. So it's probably going to leave my collection. Even though I just bought a nice little just plastic organizer at Walmart. I don't know if I see any need for it in my collection if I can play it solo on BGA once it's out of beta. So yeah, this one's a lot of fun. You score points. So you see all these coins you collect, scores points. You're just trying to get the most coins. You can also, you see this little treasure chest here. So there's some sunken ships. So there's treasures. When you get those, there's some different scoring on those. Some of them just give you points. Some of them allow you to lay an extra cube right away. Some of them are set collection. Some of them are score based on how many of these little towns you have on a certain uh, land type. So that's Guild of Merchant Explorers. It's when it first came out, it was widely described as a roll and write without the write, and that's it's basically a flip and write, but you're actually placing pieces instead of writing stuff. The next one I also played twice, and this is Draft and Write Records. This is one of my most played games on BGA. In Draft and Write Records, you are drafting cards. It's another drafting game like Stone Spine Architects. This one, I like this one because it's a different type of roll and write. It's a draft and write, so I really like this. Um, I've played this regularly with some people. In this, you are trying to build a band, but also do a lot of other things. So you have records, so you have singles and albums here that you are trying to fill in. You have your band members. You have your lead singer, your instrumentalists, your backstage people, your audio people. You have harmonies. So you can see here that some of these lines are connected. If you have dots that are the same color next to each other, you get to fill in a harmony down here, and these can give you some bonuses. Up here is your agenda. So you're trying to fill these in based on the cards you draft. And then you can get some bonuses here, some points, or some other things. These little dots here are just extra spots where you can put colors in to get extra harmonies. This is your itinerary, I think. Or this, yes, I think this is your itinerary and this is your agenda. I may have those backwards. This is another place where you are placing you are marking off these pieces, and then when you connect ones that are next to each other, you get some bonuses. And over here is where you're going on tour. So once again, when you get this symbol, you get to go on tour. You see all these money symbols around here. You need to get money in order to unlock those. So this game is one about setting up big time combos. If you can get some combos in here, you might be able to do some things where all of a sudden you're marking something here, or you're marking something here, then all of a sudden you're marking something here, then all of a sudden you're marking things here, then you're marking things over here, then you're marking things over here. Maybe that gives you something, you can mark something else. So this game is all about the combos, really, and trying to get those things set up so like you can do one thing, and all of a sudden you have a bunch. I've had some games where I've had like 9 or 10 things that I've triggered on one turn. It feels really good when you start doing that. And then over here, you score points. So the way you score is you multiply this row by this row. You score based on how many points each one of your band members was. Up here, you score if you get these rows or columns. Down here, there's no scoring. Here, you score for rows and columns that are completely filled in. On tour, you score for how far you get in each one of these areas. Then you lose points if you have what are they called? Fails. So if you can't place something, or if you have to take a card that's a fail, you um, you lose points. Then you also have these public goal card, and everybody starts with a private goal card as well, which I can't see. Um, they may have completed them all. So each person starts with a private goal card as well. And when you get those, you get points, but you also can get some extra things. Like this one gives you some extra things you can mark off. So getting those gold cards is good as well. The game ends. The game end trigger is when somebody gets 5 fails, somebody gets 6 goals, or somebody completely fills in their band. And then it's the highest score wins. That is draft and write records. All right, the next one, we got a couple left. 5 more. The next one I played twice. I played a lot of games twice. Is Gnome Hollow. This is one that we also own on the tabletop. In Gnome Hollow, you are gnomes that are trying to collect the most mushrooms for their festival or whatever it is. Each round, you will take 2 of these tiles and place them here, and then you have 2 gnomes. So it is a very tight worker placement game, and you are placing these to reserve these mushroom wings. When a mushroom ring is completely filled, you get all of the mushrooms on there. Those mushrooms can be used over here in the market to, depending on how many you turn in. Like this yellow player should probably be starting to think about turning in some mushrooms. So over here, if they had 4 reds, they would get 5, or if they had 5 reds, they get 4 points. But if they had 5 purples, they would get 12 points. You are also, when you complete a ring, you get to place something over here on your board, which yellow is absolutely destroying green. Green has completed 1 ring. I don't think green knows what they're doing, honestly, because they have 1 ring, and there is no way, somebody should have this many rings done, and this person only has 1. I don't think this person knows how to play at all. I think, Jeff, if you're still here, I don't think the green player knows how to play, because they have no mushrooms and they have no rings, and somehow this person has all of these. And I know you can, like, placing here, you get an extra one, but man, they've 1, 2, 3, 4. They've completed 5 rings. This person has completed 1. I'm not sure what. I mean, they're all really small, so I guess that's it. But man, that's not a good way to play. Then you can go to the flower shop. You can place your gnome up here. You can go to the flowers and get flowers that have been used here. If you, I'm trying to remember. No, at 4 players, no, I did not like it at 4. I think 2 is a great number. 3 probably. 4 was not good, especially when certain people keep blocking your area and putting stuff so you can't complete rings. Um, so these flowers get here after someone gets one of these up here. And so when you place something here or here, you get one of these flowers up here, and then the extra ones go there. So Gnome Hollow, you're trying to, score the most points here in the market. You're trying to can get extra mushrooms and extra tiles here. It's a fun worker placement tile laying game. We did our tile laying 5 and dime last week, and this one probably should have been on the tile laying. It's probably going to show up on our worker placement though, since somehow we totally forgot about it. Oop, my iPad just went to sleep. All right, moving on. Ooh. I'm going to open a window here because it is getting really warm in my den. Oh, it is getting hot. Ooh, holy moly. Let me open this door just a little bit. Oh, it's getting really warm in here. Oh, what is happening? My settings popped up. I'm not sure why. All right. Oops. All right. Next one. Small World. Small World. Let's see here. So in Small World, you are choosing a race along with. Can I show the cue? Along with an ability. So you see here, if you were to take this, you have bivouacking humans. So the humans collect 1 bonus coin for each farmland region you occupy, and bivouacking, you deploy 5 encampments in your region. Each one increases the region's defense by 1. So as you're moving across these regions, it takes a certain number of your fighters basically to take each area. If there's mountains or other things, that takes an extra one. Um, and if there's these little lost tribes, it takes an extra one as well. So you're trying to just get as many different or as many of these as possible because you get points at the end of each turn for how many of these you control. At any time, you can put your race into decline and get a new race. For each one you go across, you have to discard coins because you have to put a coin on everyone in front of it, and then whoever takes that one gets the coins. This one we played a couple times in January, and I really enjoyed this one. This was one of the first games that brought Stacy and I into the modern board gaming hobby. We don't really play it on the board on the tabletop anymore, but I do like that it's on BGA because I can play it on here. So that is Small World. And my last one I played twice is Tapestry. Tapestry is a civilization game. Let's see if I can find a good one here, where you are moving up a variety of tracks, uh, and you're trying to use your civilization's ability to the best. You're trying to conquer lands here in the middle. You're trying to move up these different tracks to gain different abilities and different tech cards over here. You're trying to fill in your mat here, your capital mat, uh, with as many different things. You're trying to collect things here so that you can get more items at the beginning of more resources at the beginning of every round. When you move to a new era, um, you get to play a tapestry card, and this tapestry card has some abilities for that era. So this is one I've played quite a bit on BGA. I do own this one as well. This is one that I think I prefer playing multiplayer on BGA. It is quite a beast to set up for solo play only. So this one may be one that leaves my collection as well, just because of the size of it for solo play only. And I got it when I was playing primarily solo, but now that Stacy is playing a lot more games with me, I don't necessarily need games that I can play on BGA multiplayer just for solo. So I do really like this game. It's a lot of fun. I'm not very good at it at all. I don't know the best strategy for it, but it is one that I do like to play. We play this one turn-based and usually play with 3 or 4. I think we may have played with 5 people once, and it takes a while, but that's okay. Now moving on to my top 2 most played games. The or the second most played game, I played this 5 times this month. This is one that we learned at the beginning of the month as well. This is Space Base. Learned this one on a board game night. I kind of got the gist of it on that board game night. I actually played it on another board game night. And so in Space Base, you are building this tableau down here. You start with one of these flipped over, and what you're trying to do is when you roll the dice, you earn the rewards on the blue. When somebody else rolls dice, you earn the rewards in the red. So this person is really hoping that people roll 9 because they have built up a huge stack of 9. In this game, bigger numbers are not always the best because if someone rolls a 2 and a 3, you can either get your reward from above the 2 and the 3, or you can get your reward from the 5. So this person has a lot here, a lot in the middle. They're hoping for a lot of rolls in the middle, so that's not bad. And then you are earning coins as you roll the dice, and as you do these different things, you're getting coins. Then there's income. This is the one part that I actually did not understand until just the end of the month when I had another live game night, and that is the income. I really didn't understand what these little worlds were. So when you buy a card, if you have, say, 6 gold and you buy a card for 4 gold, you actually lose the rest of your gold. But what happens is this income here actually is where you start off your next you start off with. So you will start with 3. So that is something I now understand. During the game, you are buying. If you don't buy anything, you actually keep all of your gold. So this person looks like they are building up their gold for a big move. So they are just earning gold. If you don't spend it, you actually get to gain it. And they just spent a huge one on something. Um, what did they buy? They bought a level 3 card for number 10. So they bought this card, I think, and then this one flipped over. So when you put a card here, this one flips over and you start getting this red reward. There's also these yellow cards here, which are not great early on, but are good later. And when you buy these, it basically blocks off a number, so you can't do anything else. It's a one-time point bonus. First person to 40 points wins. That is Space Base. I played that one 5 times. We learned it, and then my friend Jeff and I played it the next day, just turn-based, just to get it in our mind fresh. And then we played a couple more, and then we played it on another game night with Dads and Dice at the end of the month. So that is Space Base. And my number 1 game, which accounts for almost half of all the games I played in the month of January, is Sky Team, because I played Sky Team 21 times in January. I had a game of Sky Team going, and we'll get it going back up constantly with multiple people. So Bill Webb, Billy Indiana, who has a YouTube channel, and I played Paul from Dad's of Dice, and I played, and then Jeff and I played, and quite a bit. But like Paul and Billy and I, when we played, we finished one and started the next one. Like we were constantly going back to back to back. I do like this flight log that just popped up. When you finish games, you can see how many times you've won and lost each one, but you can also see your team ranking. Let me see if I can pull up, before I go into the gist of it, our game from the other day that we did not play very good at all. Oh, I can't pull it up. That's right. Okay, so let me get into a game of BGA, or of Sky Team on here. So basically, it shows you how many games you've played. It was really nice. They added that recently, so unfortunately, it doesn't backtrack, which would be nice. So in Sky Team, one person is playing as the pilot, and one person is playing as the co-pilot. The pilot has to control the wheels and the brakes. The co-pilot has to control the flaps, and then each person is taking care of planes that are ahead of you. So you place dice here or here to get rid of planes. This keeps your axis level. This is your speed. So each turn, before the round, you talk about your strategy. Then you these guys are gonna crash, I think. Oh no, they have 1 round left. So then you talk about your strategy, and then you place your dice without talking. So as this person puts the wheels down, the low speed, if your overall speed is here, you don't move forward on this track. If it is above this orange, let me see if I can find one that is not quite so close to the end, so that this makes more sense. Let me see if I can get one that's a little bit more in the middle of a game. All right, let's go to this one. So you start the game with the blue here and the orange here, and then you're slowly moving. Every time the pilot puts the wheels down, this goes up. Every time the co-pilot puts the flaps down, this goes up. If your total speed here is below the blue, then you are then you have sorry, my brain just went. Then you don't move forward. If it is between the blue and orange, then you move over ahead one space, which they're on their last space as well. Of course they are. If it's above the orange space, then you are move ahead two spaces. Sometimes you want to move ahead two, sometimes you don't want to move. So you got to kind of plan that out. This this here is the brakes. On the final turn, your speed has to be below whatever your highest brakes are. These guys are also playing with on a place that this where you have these interns, and so you can place the dice down here, one per round if you want to go. This person's going right to left, this person's going left to right. So if you don't have the dice you need, you might be able to get a number that you can use up here. If you don't have a dice you need, you can place it here and get coffee. The coffee will allow you to add or subtract one from your dice. Then there's, I'm looking at this conversation these people are having. Then there's you place dice here to clear out. So this plane is one ahead, so they need to put a one in one of these spaces. There's also some things where you have kerosene that you have to keep track of, and they've got an extra thing here where it says fully train. Oh, fully train the interns. Okay, fully train the interns. Not sure what this. They might be playing with the turbulence expansion because I've never seen this blue background before. So Sky Team, a really fun two-player game. I love playing this on BGA. So it's a great one. As you can tell, I played it 21 times in January, and I've already played it twice this month. So, and I'm sure we will get a lot more games. I've been looking at changing my username to match up with our board game channel a little bit more. We're going to go back to a big screen here. Trying to flip back and forth here. All right, so there you have it. There was my Board Game Arena month in review. What did I say? 24 different games, played a total of 57 times with 25 different players. That number is getting up quite a bit. It used to be just a few. Now I'm playing with a lot of regulars though. So I like playing with regulars because I don't know, sometimes randoms. I don't play to like attack people or do certain things or ambush people or whatever they call it, or hate draft. So I like playing with the people I play with because I know that they're kind of the same way, and and it's just really fun to play with the same people over and over. So that was my Board Game Arena month in review. Hope you enjoyed that. If you there's my username right now, Wisco Wills. If you want to join along and play some games, let me know. Once again, this has been Where There's a Wills, There's a Play. My name's Ian. I'll see you next time at the table or on the computer.